Hey there. Gotta make sure we've got something for the logbook before you go back west. Have you spoken to Major Knight yet? Every individual passing through the Long 15 must be documented for census and taxation purposes. I will ask again. Have you spoken to Major Knight? Then go back and speak with him. I can't let you through until then.
Hey, you! Can you help me? Please, I'm trying to get home, but they won't let me through the gate. I hired a courier to take my paperwork in ahead of me, and I'm pretty sure I got scammed. DRC paperwork always takes a while, but it's been weeks, and I haven't heard anything. What's worse, I heard rumors that some troopers are looking for someone by my name. I bet the bastard took my identity. Who knows what he's been getting up to? Department of Roads and Commerce. Have you never been down the 15 or something? They process all travelers coming from the Mojave and act as more of a roadblock than anything. Hell, they have 10 checkpoints from here to the hub. You have to get through all of them if you want to make it out of the desert. It can take a week for them to get to you, and another to approve your paperwork. Hence why I hired someone to do it for me. You tell me if you ever find someone who is, alright? Good for you, I guess. Hopefully you're an honest one. It's no good, I've tried. I don't have the proper papers, and they don't have the authority to give me new ones here without any identification. The mountain pass ahead is crawling with troopers. Well, I'm pretty sure my identity has been stolen, so I need you to clear my name firstly. I don't want to walk into Baker and get arrested, or worse, because an Elias Turner scammed someone else in town. Oh, it's a cool town. It used to be a pit stop, but it's been growing fast. There's some shadier characters near the highway, but the place has good bones. I'd recommend checking out the Euro place, and they have this huge thermometer that lights up when it gets hot out. Stay away from the gift shop, though. That place hikes the prices up for tourists. I need a special pass to get home. This part might be a little trickier, but I promise I'll make it worthwhile. Turners always pay our debts. You could try the DRC, but if they turn you away, you might need special approval. Last time something like this happened, I was able to clear it up with one of the officers at Fort Westin. I heard they all got replaced, and there's a new colonel in charge over there. I can't speak to his demeanor. Not exactly. I got in trouble once for walking right by a toll booth and not paying for the required passes. The toll booth guard was asleep, and I was scared to wake him up. A whole big misunderstanding. It's ironic. I greased a few palms and ended up getting through for less than the toll price itself. Maybe those officers got replaced for letting their palms get a little too greasy. I don't have much on me, but I can get you more cash once I get into town. How's 250 caps when you deliver, and 500 more when I get into Baker Sound? Sorry, but no amount of convincing is gonna get me to pay up front again. The last guy burned any chance of that. You drive a hard bargain, my friend. All right, 1,000 caps, not one more. He'll need a big bag to hold that much change. Sounds great. Just follow the 15 and keep going west. It's a long walk, but the biggest danger is boredom. This should be easy money for you. You'll know you're almost there when you get through the mountain pass and see a toll booth up ahead with a hitching post on your right. Then just keep heading down the hill to the DRC. You can't miss it.
Caravan, citizen, pilgrim, or... Reinforcements? About time we got some more hands around here. Just need something for the logbook, keeping tabs on traffic throughout the outpost. Although mostly just in, not out these days. If you're looking for the commanding officer, he's in the back. Although, he's got a lot on his plate, so if you speak with him, keep it short. Also, if you need any gear checked, we can get you up and running again. Once you fill out the work orders and sign for the parts, of course. Goodbye.
Have you talked to Major Knight yet? Very well. Let me take a look here. Okay, it looks like you've been logged. You can pass on through. Have a nice day.
What do you want? I'm not in the mood to chat. I'm just here for a couple of days till I can keep heading west. Oh, just got used to watching my back. Old habits die hard, you know? No. If there is, I'm not the guy to ask. Maybe Linda at the bar can help you. I'm Percy. Came down from Oregon, traveled down the 5 for months, looking for somewhere a bit warmer than Cascadia. Looks like I found it. Yeah, that's right. I was just looking for somewhere less cold. You should get going. I'm sure you've got somewhere to be. The hell are you talking about? Are you a bounty hunter? Damn. Guess I gave myself away for no reason. I gotta get a hold of myself. I'll have to start from the beginning to explain it all. I'm from Ashland, up in Oregon. For years, I'd heard about the NCR, even seen some of their traders, but they were never really our problem. Then, the NCR cleared a good chunk of the I-5. I was pretty happy, because that meant no more raiders. Until the settlers came. The settlers wanted to make us NCR, real pushy about it too. Started fights, squatted in our land, and then, one day, there were more of them than us. Soon, we had an NCR treasurer, an NCR trade officer, an NCR mayor, and finally, an NCR sheriff. That sheriff was a vindictive bastard. He shut my parents' business down, let NCR mobs run rampant, and looked the other way to NCR traffickers. One day, I just couldn't take it anymore. I walked into the sheriff's office and shot him in the back of the head. NCR didn't want a trial. Thought it would get ugly, make them look bad. So, they shipped me as far from Oregon as they could. That was NCRCF. Spent a few months there doing hard labor on the railroads. We outnumbered the guards 15-1. It was a powder keg ready to blow. They didn't even have the manpower to check our cells after a while. Cook and his crew gathered up dynamite and took over. It was barely even a fight. I wasn't really interested in a revolution, though. I know I can't win that war. Not sure if I want to go home, though, either. Not much left for me there. I may stick around for a while, see if I can find the place I can fit in. The NCR should help me if I claim I'm a Mojave war refugee. Thanks for the advice.
Hello. Hey, I recognize you. You're one of them Mojave Express couriers, right? You passed by not too long ago, I think. That's okay. I'm Linda Scranton. This is the Brahmin Hitching Post. Absolutely. Take a look. Welcome back. Sure. So this is the Long 15. It runs from Dayglow to Old Canada. This stretch of the interstate's pretty safe. Just don't go off into the Hollow Hills. The critters there are pretty tough. If you keep going west, you'll hit Fort Westin. After that, Baker. If you want to go to the hub, you'll need proof of citizenship though, and it takes forever to get that verified. It's bark scorpion breeding season, so they're more agitated than usual. They typically don't try attacking the roads though. It's the local NCR Army fort. They got some better troopers from up north recently. If you're looking for a stiff drink, I'd try Huffman's Hole. Food for the road, I'd try Zetan Jerky. General supplies, the Frontier store. There's a followers clinic that will patch you up, the Hawaiian King for beds, and the community center for beds if you can't afford it. Any other questions? Well, there were raider attacks not too long ago, but they've gone quiet since the troopers showed up. There was a shootout at Baker Town Hall, too, but I'm not really sure what's happening there. And then, there was the arrival of the Colonel, a pretty impressive war hero coming to our little backwater. Well, like I said, they came out of nowhere and hit some of the caravans. Ever since the troopers reinforced the roads, they've gone quiet. Kinda crazy, though. We haven't had raiders in this part of California for over a decade now. I only know what I heard. There were a bunch of gunshots for a couple of days, but it's over now. Town Hall's been locked up tight ever since. A lot of mercs patrolling around. Lázaro Royez. He's just wrapped up the Sierra campaign up north. I'm kind of surprised we have such a prestigious individual at the fort. Any other questions? Well, the two big shots around here are Hightower and Stanton. You could get employment with them easy. Alternatively, there's always the merchants at the Hawaiian King, but I don't really trust them. Leland Hightower, CEO of the Water Merchants. Not just a big shot, the big shot. More powerful than some senators. He set up a winter home in Baker several years ago. By all accounts, a good employer. Frick Stanton, Brahmin Baron. He basically owns Baker. Lots of money being washed around there. He's got some court cases against him right now, but it isn't the first time. And he'll probably duck these too. I don't know. I don't even really know who it is. Town Hall's locked down though. Any other questions? Checkered suit. Like black and white? No one of that description came through here. Sounds Vegas though. As for the cons, I haven't seen any pass through here. Really ever. Sorry I can't be of more help. Have a safe trip.
Yeah? That it is. Nah, I retired. Did my 8 years. I usually work as a caravan guard, but pickings are kinda sparse right now. Murrock, then McCarran. Served in the Mojave. Did a good job taking out fiends and cons from North Vegas. Beat the cons decisively in the Battle of Bitter Springs. Yeah, it was a battle. A battle between civilization and savagery. And we won. I don't want to hear any talk about how it was a massacre. Oh no, there's a baby Deathclaw and a mother Deathclaw outside my door. I can't kill them because they're women and children. That's what you sound like. All cons are combatants. End of story. Nope, not even a little. Back in the hub in '73, I had to gun down NCR civilians during the riots. Some ghoul rioter shooting up a store, and some hero with a gun trying to stop him. I had to treat those people equally. I felt bad about that. The cons, they don't want any mercy. Never have. Just a bunch of punks. Yeah. The Legion are tough, no denying that. But we're tougher. No denying that either. No, I don't gamble. Waste of money. I hope when the NCR annexes that place, they'll clean up shop in Vegas. We can't gamble back home, and I think that's a good thing. People wasting their lives over a chance to get rich. Whatever happened to hard work? Adios.
It's illegal for us to gamble back home. The government wants to keep us poor.
Next person.
Oh, hell. I'm really very busy. What the hell do you want? The name on the desk says J. Bowers. That is, in fact, my name. Paperwork. Lots and lots of paperwork. Never ends. And if it ever comes close to ending, then that means the NCR was obliterated by a second Great War. The Department of Roads and Commerce is where the paperwork for all travelers coming in and out of the NCR is fully processed. That's why we have so much of it. Help? Actually, what do you know about the great NCR bureaucracy? So, nothing. Okay. I'll be the judge of that. Everyone knows that. That isn't a secret. That's worse than not knowing anything. That's you thinking that you know something. Okay, at this facility, we mostly process 10W and NI forms. The former are commerce records and the latter immigration records. 10W forms are tax records mostly, but they also consist of pre-business license forms. We can't process full license forms here, though. We have to sign a separate form so the SVB can register them in full, otherwise we have to fill another form, which no one wants. Anyways, back to 10W forms. They vary based on dependency, marital status, disabled status, military status, blood type, religion, age, and income. The NCR uses a progressive, regressive, flat income tax structure, which is easy to understand. Just consult the terminal for further information. 10W forms can have to be filled out 3 times. We keep one for storage, and we fax the others to Shady Sands in the hub for benefits allocation. NI forms are a little more complex because there's so many moving parts in comparison. NI forms can be naturalization, work visas, asylum, rehabilitation, tribal education, and citizenship verification. Plus, we have to file out notices to appear, orders to release records, and orders to vacate. And of course, there's permits to re-enter and arrival/departure records, which is especially valid because of our status as a border town. Baja's offices have CSL forms, but we don't, thank Dharma. The first step to those is radioing the West Outpost because they have succinct logbooks. Then you have to fill out a form for that. Don't worry about specifics of immigration status, occupation classification, or desired income bracket. You got me. I usually scare off the suits back in Shady with that speech. I can see that you were able to see right through it. Honestly, you're kind of wasted as a merc. Do you know what happens if we overperform in comparison to last year? The government, in all of their wisdom, will fire some of my staff because we're too efficient. Then they will punt a massive amount of work from underperforming offices because of our record. My staff will suffer under unmeetable quotas, and there's no point, because what will they do if I manage to meet them? The exact same thing. No. No one hates paperwork more than anyone who works here. Aim low, and you'll always succeed. Aim high, and you'll always be disappointed. That's my motto. Yours too, I guess. Sure, 6 hours of labor, $200 in cash paid at the end of the shift. Don't worry about taxes, contractors are exempt. And there's a stack of forms over there. Can't say I'm happy to see you again. You've done this before, so I'll save you the headache of full instructions. The forms are over there when you're ready. Can't say I'm happy to see you again. That's quite the coincidence. We just received paperwork for the arrest and processing of an Elias Turner in Baker. Surely no relation, right? You're reporting a crime, you know. Your best bet would be the Baker Sheriff's Office just up the road. Or you could see if the good colonel would release some of his troopers to help you with that. Of course, that's just the crime. If you're interested in the paperwork, head east to the other DRC office. They might have a backup of his information that we don't. No. Unless you are looking to help me with this paperwork, you are wasting my time, and that of the NCR taxpayer. Well, I don't want to spend all day doing paperwork, when I could be looking at magazines with very nice pictures of some very pretty ladies. I'd honestly prefer if you tried greasing the mayor's palms or getting the local Brahmin baron to bribe us. I'd take that bribe. Then you can try the colonel, like I said. He sometimes grants permits for caravans with military goods. He might stretch the definition for you. I should set up a tip jar so customers can really start showing their gratitude.
All this for a caravan license. Hey, I'm Rushing Waters. Welcome to Fort Westin. Make trouble, and I'll make you dead. If you have actual concerns, talk to Colonel Royez. He's inside. Not where I'm from. The beautiful blue rivers and green forests of Toyabe, far to the northeast of here in Nevada. It's the armor of a desert ranger. Or, well, mine is, but some of the NCR's other veteran rangers wear them too. We used to be a different tribe, but we've joined up with the bear. There's a lot to say. A lot of history in that name. We're older than the Legion, than the NCR, even the Great War. But I'll give you the short version. Our tribe believes in combat excellence, brotherhood, and the right of people to be free from danger, want, and control. The Rangers were a great tribe, with clans in every state in the Old Southwest. If a ranger visited your town, you just knew that your luck was about to change. Our luck ran out 10 years ago. The Legion spooked the command and they fled to the Bear and signed a treaty to bring us into the NCR. I never met them. I was in Utah for all 7 years we fought them. A lot of my brothers and sisters did, though. Told me that the Legion just kept coming. I guess I can see why we signed the treaty if that was the case. Not sure, really. The way you hear the other Rangers talk, you'd think they were winning. I guess there were just too many of them. At the fort? No. There are none in the Mojave right now either. Kimball's got most of them in Baja or fighting the Brotherhood. It kinda sucks when the leadership signed a treaty for helping us fight the Legion, but wants us fighting their problems instead. I guess that's the game the NCR's playing now. Oh yeah, I've heard about that. Never seen it before, though. It's where the treaty was signed. Go for it. Fine. It's not like this base is going to be under attack anytime soon. A deeply complicated existential question. I do not know. It's not because I'm needed here. It's certainly not because I want to be here. The actual reason is because of the Colonel's little Sierra campaign to the north. He wanted someone with a history with the 80s. So, I got pulled west from my normal work in eastern Nevada to be his guide. Then, the Colonel brings me in one day and says that we've been redeployed here with no warning. The Bears got designs on conquering all that space to the north of Vegas. So, they have little outreach groups to find out what problems there are going to be when they commit to that. Sometimes they send a ranger like me to help out. A huge roving raider tribe that dominates the I-80. Not sure if they were named after the interstate or the other way around. I once recovered the bodies and motorcycles of a band and brought them back to their camp by myself. That was very important to them. I was named a Bubba, and they promised me that they would always view me as one of their own. I came of age during the Legion War and was sent to make sure the guns kept flowing from New Cannon to the south. I managed to unite the Mormons, the tribes, the Rangers, and even some of the 80s into a great alliance. We defeated the Bone Dancers at Park City and took Wendover from the 80s. I mediated a treaty with the rest of the 80s. It was the safest Utah had ever been. Then we signed the treaty with the NCR. The Rangers were pulled west from everywhere. My understanding was the alliance collapsed without us there. A damn shame. No. The Bear is a demanding beast. They want everything, they want it now, and they don't care who they have to hurt to get it. All that power over all that land, it's bound to go bad eventually. Yeah, and so are most of my brothers and sisters, but they need to fucking get over it. All the bitching in the world isn't going to unsign the treaty. I get they're unhappy because the Bear didn't help them for years, but this is our life now. Go for it. He's a good commander hemmed by bad leadership. The Sierra campaign was a simple, solid, well-done operation. But he is a boss that I never had to answer to before. His Rangers and my Rangers are different. I do feel listened to, but I don't think his bosses are listening to him. They call him Memo because they don't want to mispronounce Guillermo. He hates that nickname. If his bosses can't even get his name right, then just forget it. Keep your wits about you.
This is Fort Westin. You're not a trooper. Do you have business here? The Brotherhood recently punched a hole through our investment near Lost Hills, but they were taken out in a pitched battle along NCR Grand Route 5. It speaks to increasing desperation and indicates that the siege is working. Still, there seems to be no indication that the stalemate is going to be broken anytime this year. Not from the NCR? Or just uninformed? Now, I suppose it doesn't matter. The answer is yes. A lot of reasons. None of them particularly good. The biggest one is leadership. The current Brotherhood Council of Elders is increasingly unresponsive to negotiations. Of course, neither is our... All I can say is that it's a shame that the war has been going on for so long, and I will be happy when it ends. Well, they're an extraordinarily difficult opponent. They possess an absolute superiority in technology, which has taken us decades to come close to matching. The Brotherhood also employs extensive use of bunkers, which are next to impossible to take without high casualties. Once they've been overcome, the NCR will be able to divert their resources to where else they're needed. We defeated one of their chapters in battle near Helios 1, but they have been relatively inactive in the 5 years since then. Reports indicate the leader of their breakout was Nolan McNamara, who is certainly intelligent enough to stabilize their situation. It's the junior conflict to our war with the Brotherhood in terms of resources allocated, but the reports are troubling. They indicate a ruthless, fanatical, well-trained army that is only increasing in number and boldness. We're more than holding our own in the Sonora, but the Legion looks like it's on track to take the dam. If that happens, then this place will become a combat zone. Ask them. At the fort, yes. My current commanding officer is General Courtney Marks at Murrock. Once the situation is adequately resolved, he will send troops to relieve me, and I will return to my post in the Vault City territory. An influential citizen in this town requests military assistance to deal with the reemergence of raiders in this sector. Otherwise, this is a fairly mundane sector. My troops patrol the roads but haven't reported any new raider activity since we've arrived. I assume Leland Hightower. He's one of the water merchants and has been working to build up this town. I had a meeting with him not long ago. We discussed high-priority caravans, R&R agreements, and troop allocations. The Mojave Military Authority is led by General Lee Oliver at Hoover Dam. My troops are not presently under his command, nor has he requested their use. His Rangers counterpart is Chief Josh Hanlon. Ask them. Decades of service. The Rangers saved my town from slavers in Baja many decades ago. I enlisted to be a part of something like that. After that, I enlisted as a trooper to help train soldiers during the Enclave War. Since then, I've seen the fall of Navarro, 3 tours against the Brotherhood, and 2 more tours in Baja. Because I haven't been promoted, that's all I have to say about it. A battle in the history textbooks. After that, the NCR thought we could do anything. The spirit of Navarro symbolized something new and beautiful. It's a shame we lost it. The fall of Navarro and the defeat of the Enclave was the combined work of so many. NCR, Brotherhood, Union, Militia. I worked with the Brotherhood. They showed us their technology and we sent them recruits. There was a time in which I wore power armor into battle alongside them. Those days are so long ago. In the beginning, it was a lot more one-sided. Circle of Steel raids on our caravans and the theft of the gold reserves. Then we started getting organized. Stealth boys, armor piercers, pulse grenades, vertibirds, trucks. We pushed the Brotherhood back to their bunkers. My unit was tasked with capturing those bunkers. You need a lot of tech, top-notch training, and numbers to do so. And we had that in spades. We managed to take 2 of them, but they got wise and started blowing up their bunkers. I had no counter, and since then, no one else has either. A lot of things. Good and bad. It's a little confusing there right now. We've nearly wrapped it up though, if the reports from military intelligence are anything to go by. Ask them. I took an oath to its constitution. I did that because I believe the new California Republic is the single best hope for peace and stability in the wasteland. Its victory over the wasteland will symbolize an end to the apocalypse and the dawn of a new, better world. A world where its soldiers will be able to rest easy and let the people run themselves. One where there's no masters and no slaves. I truly believe that, even despite all of its flaws. That's up for you to decide. Sorry, I'm not interested in discussing politics. It's one of our dominant outposts along the Long 15, and it's vital for maintaining our supply line to the Mojave. It's also the evacuation route for the NCR civilians should the Mojave be thrown into chaos. Our wars with the Brotherhood, the Legion, and Baja continue to ebb and flow. Ask them. Yeah? There's no shortage of small tasks that need to be done around here. Out of curiosity, have you helped out the NCR before? You're still somehow less arrogant than our resident contractor. Still, I can't deny your skills. General Marks received troop transfer requests earlier this month regarding local instability and the re-emergence of raiders in this sector. Most of my attempts at gathering intelligence indicate that 2 individuals, Frick Stanton and Morton Stone, are at the center of it. Despite our best efforts, details have been hard to come by, so I'm hoping for a fresh set of eyes on this. Specifically, I want you to approach Mr. Stanton in his villa to the south, and Mr. Stone at the town hall. See how they're involved and return to me as soon as you find anything. Oh, and let me be clear. I want you to avoid violence at all costs. If it's necessary to use it, it will be my decision, not yours. Are we clear? I mentioned before that my redeployment was very unexpected. There were still things we could do in the Sierras. I have suspicions that what's going on in Baker has a lot more eyeballs on it from the powers that be than on first glance. I want to play it safe, gather intel and make an informed decision. After all, it will be my name on the forms. If arrogance was a person, I'm sure it would be less cocky than Mr. Stanton. He visited the base when I arrived, gave me nearly $1,000 in cash. Gratis, he said. Legally, it was just barely not a bribe. He has an existing contract with the fort to directly supply the base with fresh food. And, to his credit, he has consistently delivered. However, he's managed to anger a lot of important people back west. Enough that the government is pursuing legal indictments against him. Corrupt contractors are part and parcel for the home front. But the latest rumors about the ranchers are my real concern. Evidently, rancher homes were attacked by raiders, but Stanton's boys were quick to move onto their lands. Maybe a buyout, maybe something else. About a month ago, the town hall went quiet, and many of the workers have not been heard from. The building is on lockdown following a shootout. Morton Stone himself is a rather mysterious fellow. Not a whole lot of records on this man, almost like someone is covering it up. All intelligence efforts have failed so far, and the mercenaries that were hired for protection downstairs have turned away my messengers. I can see he was a veteran of the Bullhead campaign. but his employment for the past 2 decades is largely unknown. You should exercise extreme caution when speaking to Mr. Stone, but gather information on his intent with the town hall in Baker. Very good. Return to me once you've gathered information on both Mr. Stanton and Mr. Morton. Hello again. I don't typically provide military travel passes to civilians. You'll need to go through the proper channels to help your friend. Try the DRC offices. There are 2 within a few miles of here. Very well. If you're looking for more work, come see me after you help your friend. We may be able to work together if you can prove your resourcefulness.
Hey, you don't look like a trooper. This is a mess hall for the troops. Kissing ass will get you very far in this kitchen. What'll it be? Hey, better than letting it go to waste. I end up throwing out perfectly good food half the time. The administration sends us enough rations for a full base, but with troops getting transferred into the Mojave so often, we're rarely fully manned. I appreciate you being honest, and the extra cash might help me save up for a little R&R in Baker. Might go underground, if you catch my drift. Come on, like you don't know? The Black Chip? They got a whole underground casino under the pawn shop. Not like they're real secretive about it, with people going in and out all day and night. Last time I went in there, I lost half my paycheck. I'm ready to win it back. That makes one of us. They love me and my money. Gambling is all about the thrill of the risk. That just makes it more exciting. Works for me. I'm Corporal Morris, head chef here at Fort Westin. I'm finally proud of that title. I've been serving slop to poor bastards back west for almost 6 years now. I got stationed here right before Royas did, not too long ago. We have the best supplies I've seen. No slop here. Help? Hell no. Life is good here. The Baron to the south sells us lots of food, and when we're lucky, we can buy in bulk from the Baker restaurants. All that on top of our normal rations means our troops get their pick of fresh produce. Can't say the same for those poor suckers on the front line. I don't see why not. Maybe you can talk to the quartermaster and make it happen. Don't let it take too much, though. Just the extra food we'd otherwise toss out. We can spare about 200 pounds per week. No more than that. Sure thing. See you around.
Are you here to pick up the 556 shipment? Or are you bringing me those MP helmets I ordered? Alright, just sign this form and... you're screwing with me. Is there something you actually need help with? In charge? Oh, sure. Technically. But between requisition forms, inventory counts, and memos asking for more ammo than we even have, it's more like the supplies are in charge of me. Stressed? Oh no, never stressed. I mean, sure, we're overseeing the supply of food and equipment to thousands of troopers on the front. Troopers who will starve or run out of ammo if I don't do my job. But stressed? Never. Hard to say. I'm about 2 weeks behind on deliveries, but that's mostly because we have more supplies here than we have troopers to move it. We don't make them, but we are in charge of assembly and repairs, among many other things. My troopers are working around the clock, fixing damaged gear, sending it to the Mojave, and receiving it damaged 2 weeks later. It never ends. No kidding. Really? Wow, that's the best news I've heard in weeks. Tell him I said thank you. I'd think of myself, but I'm too busy. Bye.
Back again? Looking to buy some grub? Thanks for putting in a good word with the quartermaster for me. They'll probably bump my pay after this. The black chip won't know what hit them. See you around.
I'm probably not the first to tell you this, but welcome to Fort Westin. Have you spoken to Colonel Royes yet? That's good to hear. This base is lucky to have him. How can I help you? Colonel Royes has been in the NCR military for most of his life. At this point, it basically is his life. I had the privilege of talking with him back when I was a lowly NCR civilian in Sacktown, and he convinced me to join up after a short conversation. I was a late recruit to the military, as you can see by my salt and pepper hair. My troops call me the old man behind my back, but I don't mind. I lived in Sacktown for most of my life, and I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly of the NCR. The place was lawless, and I believed it to be ungovernable. NCR had a hold of mostly by name, with an embassy and a few corrupt city officials. The place was mostly held together by caravans and barons. There's not much to say about my personal life there, beyond trying to start my own construction company. After having my tools stolen 4 times in as many years, I lost hope in the city and was packing up everything. I had to leave. Royes and his troops were marching through the city. They were on their way to kick off the Sierra campaign. I told them I was headed that way anyways and might as well tag along. They threw me a rifle and told me to get in line if I wanted to do something important. Really wasn't all that quick, but that's how it felt anyways. 2 tours later in the Sierra campaign, and here I am, alive and kicking. Royes specifically asked for me. I specialize in troop readiness, so I'm preparing these soldiers to deploy into the Mojave when the time comes. Us old-timers know how to shape up recruits, and he thought I did a pretty good job in our Sierra campaign together. Well, nothing major, but I do have a small job if you can keep your eyes open. We have a vandal on base somewhere, throwing cherry bombs in the toilets, marking up the posters with graffiti, you name it. I think it's a case of extreme boredom. Maybe I'll figure out who it is and put them on the first deployment to the front. Nothing major, except that they're likely in the Southwest Barracks. That's the one with the destroyed toilet. Thanks. I'll make sure you're compensated if you find the culprit. Until next time.
You're not a trooper. Do you have business here? Name's Doc Baker. That town to the east of here, I founded it, believe it or not. Back before the Great War, all of the settlements you see back in New California, Shady, Junktown, The Den, yep, that was all me. Nah, I'm just messing with you. You're not a trooper, so you'll have to pay. But yeah, I can treat you. Oh, and it has to be an NCR money. The department doesn't let me take caps. Sure. Sure thing. Of course, there's no guarantee that I'll be honest. No, it isn't. I change my name every time I move so I can make the same joke I played on you. Let's see, I've been Rancher Junktown, Mr. Shady, and Johnny Sacktown. Maybe someday I'll be Tommy Hoover, mechanic. Originally, a tiny place called Nevada City. You wouldn't know it. Before I joined the NCR Army, I lived in Cemetery Quarter in the Hub, or Sunset Point, whatever the official name is these days. What's it like being a human? Come on now, that's not an interesting question. I got exposed to radiation while scavenging the ruins of an old nuclear test site to the east of here. My suit got punctured by robot gunfire, and that let a bunch of radiation seep in. That was oh so long ago. Sure. Ask them. Colonel Royez. We had a captain, but she got posted to the power station when he showed up. The fort, some influential counselor from the Hub state decades ago. I met his grandkid once. He died during the first battle of Hoover Dam. Kind of a shame. He seemed like a nice kid. Was once the absolute frontier of the NCR along the Long 15. Doesn't hold really any importance these days. Sure. See ya.
Haven't seen you around base before. You just passing through? Business, huh? Well, keep me out of it. I'm busy enough as it is. The name's Atwood. Nice to meet you. I'm the chief mechanic. I fix up basically everything, except the guns. Apparently, it voids the contract with the gun runners if I do that. Yeah, I have to repair the trucks too. It's a real pain. The sand roughs up the engines pretty good. I'm just happy I'm not the one that has to repair the ones out east. Those are the pre-war models. They're probably a goddamn nightmare. Roads are too tough, replacing the tires is a bitch, because of the raiders, you know, all the usual crap. At some point, just outsourcing all of our convoys to Brahmin caravans is cheaper than guarding and repairing our good vehicles. Dayglow. Pretty nice place these days. My parents helped keep the radiation pumps fixed up, and I followed in their footsteps. Got a nice scholarship after enlisting in the Bear Force. I'll be out of here in 3 years. I'll probably try moving to the Boneyard, since that's where the jobs are these days. Oh, the vertibirds, right? They're big old flying machines. We took them from the Enclave decades ago. They were some of the remnants of the old US government before the Great War, the ones that nuked everything. They apparently tried to kill the entire wasteland too. NCR and Brotherhood fucked them up good, and they're all gone now. Sure. Camp Yosemite got attacked by the Brotherhood a month ago.
so we shifted them west away from the front lines. Even if they are damaged, we don't want them falling into the hands of the Brotherhood. Maize. We distill the ethanol until we've got the best possible blend, and that's our fuel. It kind of sucks because the engines were not designed for it, and the range is just abysmal no matter how much we optimize them. I don't really know where the Enclave got all that oil, but we haven't been able to find it, so we're stuck with this. Yep. A whole fleet of them back west. Only 25 of them are fully operational, though. Most of them are committed against the Brotherhood, and there's a couple very small fleets in Baja and the Sonora. Haha, no. We don't have a dedicated refueling station there, and the reduced range that Maize gives us prevents us from flying over there. Exceptions can be made for important visits or Bear Force 1, which gets the best fuel we have, but most of the birds have very limited range. Look, between you and me, I don't think General Oliver and the Bear Force see eye to eye. Oliver could sign paperwork to get a couple of vertibirds to the dam tomorrow if he wanted to, but he just doesn't want to. Yeah. You really want to help out? All right, we'll see what you've got. Our vertibirds have seen better days. We had to tow them out of Camp Yosemite following a pretty nasty attack. They've been sent here for repairs, but it's unlikely they will see action again soon. Logistics are slow, as most parts are pre-war, and these birds are low priority compared to arming troops on the front. To make things worse, we need to turn maize into fuel for these things, which will directly impact the troopers' food supply if we don't find a new supplier. I need help gathering parts for these vertibirds, and a steady supply of maize fuel. I'll start you on the parts first, and we can deal with the suppliers later. Trust me, I've been asking the same question. We have troopers sitting on their hands around here waiting to do something, and ineffective equipment waiting to be repaired. I suppose the higher-ups don't want any troopers getting injured out here, especially when we aren't a designated combat zone. They see these birds as unimportant compared to tossing troops into the dam, even if working vertibirds could save lives. It's not my place to judge, though. I'm sure there's a bigger picture I'm not seeing yet. Great. I'm going to mark a few areas of interest for you on your Pip-Boy. The first item we need is a new rotor blade. There's an old crash site to the south that may have something promising for us, but don't stick around too long. There's some leftover radiation in the crater. I can't get approval to check out the bird due to the rads, even though it'd just be a quick snatch and grab. Come back with a working rotor, and I'll give you a reward, and get you set up on the next job.
Oh, hey, I've heard of you. You're that big shot from the Mojave. What the hell are you doing in this dump? Private Jill McIntyre. Nice to meet you. This is the actual worst place you could be stationed, and that's a fact. That is because there is nothing to do here. You want to know what I do? I wake up, I drill, I patrol, I go to sleep. I do that every day. I mean, I haven't even been able to shoot a damn rat scorpion, which is about the only thing that passes for entertainment around here. If a Legion sharpshooter blew my head off, it would be an improvement over doing nothing but drilling. I would honestly prefer a combat posting. Exactly. Oh, you know, stuff. Well, might as well talk a while longer, because there's nothing to do here. 29 Palms. The name's more interesting than the town, which is just a bunch of damn Joshua trees. After years of being the only sane person there, I decided to join the army. See the world and meet more sane people. I have only done the first of those 3 things. Well, I don't have any work. You want work? Try the Colonel. Or Ranger Bell. Don't like him. He shows up without any advance notice and says that we need to get the fort in shape. I don't really see the big deal. We are nowhere near any of the front lines. We didn't get any. Not even the usual, hey, I got another burnout for you guys. Sorry, not sorry. If you see those guys with the actual armor, they're his troopers. And ones that look like me, we were already here. It's just pointless. COs want us to do this, do that. But there's not gonna be any battle here or anything like that. It isn't Hoover Dam. No one's going to attack this place. Well, might as well talk a while longer, because there's nothing to do here. Well, I don't know anything about cherry bombs. Sorry. No, sorry. Well, none come to mind. It's the only way to blow up a toilet, idiot. Don't go try and accuse me of knowing stuff. Sergeant Parks probably did it to justify cutting our rations. I already told you I didn't know anything about this. Fine, alright, I did it. What do you want? An apology? You won't get one. You should have seen it. It was fucking hilarious. Manzanares took a huge shit in the toilet and forgot to flush, and it was stinking up the whole barracks. I tossed the bomb in and jumped back in bed in record time, and shit went everywhere. I had to pretend I was dying from the smell to hide how hard I was laughing. I don't really see the big deal. I only blew up one.
Welcome back. Do you have anything to back up those claims? Well, that's pretty solid proof. I hate to say it, but I'm not surprised it was her. I've had enough of her antics. I'm having her sent to Camp McCarran effective immediately. I guarantee she won't complain about being bored again. Sounds like we might have a bit of a morale problem on base. Would you be up to potentially helping with that? Well, that's good to hear. I've been trying to work with that librarian Baker to get the troops some coffee, but I haven't had time to get over there. Here, take this order note over there. We'll see if we can give the troopers something to look forward to in the morning. I'm listening. I like it. I'll let the troopers walk the southeast gap between I-15 and the construction site. It's never really caused us any issues, but maybe killing a few ants will make them feel like they're still part of the mission. Until next time.
It's not often we see civilians here, unless they're in cuffs. Can I do something for you? I'm Ranger Bell. I'm the closest thing you'll find to a CO in this place. This is the military police headquarters for Fort Westin. We maintain law and order, primarily within the Fort Westin perimeter, but lately we've been leaning in to help the Baker Sheriff Department too. They only have the one jail cell, so we've been watching their overflows until they can get transferred into the hub. Hell, I guess I've got the time. I'm originally from up in Oregon, near Klamath, a small town called Chiloquin. Used to be a reservation before the war. I joined up with the Rangers to follow in my parents' footsteps. They joined to stamp out slavery within the Republic. They could fight like animals and disappear into the crowd like ghosts. My dad always told me one Ranger is worth 10 good soldiers. I wanted to be a part of something like that. They didn't waste time with me, sent me right into the thick of it. I've faced all kinds of slaver groups since, but I haven't crossed paths with the Legion yet. Can't say I'm looking forward to it. What's a civilian doing in MP headquarters? Rangers generally do our best work out in the field, but that isn't to say we aren't useful at home, too. I have a feeling the brass is testing integrating us into regular units. I won't be surprised if they try to give me a beret and a promotion. This unit was underperforming when I arrived last month. Now they know Ranger takedowns and are in better shape than the MPs on the front line. They should let us train the whole army. That's classified. I suppose another set of trustworthy eyes never hurts. I'm here to make sure the MPs watch that town hall. Not sure if you've heard, but there was recently a change in management over there. I'm ensuring none of that mess makes its way into Fort Westin. Kinda hard to do from a command building on the east side of the base, with no windows. Sorry, we're pretty much in the dark here. I just know something went down, and the NCR wants eyes on it, but I have orders not to act unless things escalate further. Appreciate it.
Been hearing things about the 127 up north. Bad things. I'd keep clear of it if I were you.
Hey there, name's Wedge. Nice to meet you. I'm a sales rep with the Gunrunners. Been with them for 6 or 7 years now. Before that, I was a waitress and hairstylist. Honestly, that's pretty boring stuff. I don't want to talk about that. Guns. Guns are where it's at. Our contract with Fort Westin includes a warranty. A gunrunner staffer is required to be nearby at all times to fix defects in the guns, give clearance to have them replaced if they can. Generally, make sure the customer is satisfied with the product. We are the best arms manufacturers in the whole wasteland, and it isn't a contest. We've got the parts, the schematics, and the know-how. No one knows more about guns than us. Oh yeah, it's great. I'm basically my own boss. Benefits are pretty good too. Some high-quality health insurance, a 604k, 3 weeks of paid leave, 2 months maternity and paternity leave, and dental. Mostly service rifles. They're our bread and butter. They're clean, they're reliable, good fire rate, and ever since we fixed the wood swelling issue 3 years ago, we've had no complaints. Well, you have been doing some good stuff for us. I guess I can sell you some of the scraps. You really should be buying from our office near McCarran. Their stock is a lot better.
Yes? What do you want? Are you new in town? Or to the NCR in general? Ah, well, I suppose it doesn't matter. I'm Leland Hightower, CEO of the new California Water Company. Is there some particular reason you're speaking to me? It is, isn't it? It's my winter home, away from the hub. I had it built as a vacation spot many years ago. Eventually, though, I hope to turn this town into a great business center, the perfect bridge between the hub and the Mojave. It is a pity my wife didn't live to see it, but I'd imagine that she would have loved it. Very well. That is correct. My company has a net worth of approximately 215 million NCR dollars. It won't be half as impressive as putting it back in the hands of the people. It is the duty of the rich to act as the great investor of the next generation of entrepreneurs and this generation of the poor. I hope to have put 95% of this great sum back into the hands of the people before my life is over. My gift to the people of the NCR. Yes, my wife is deceased, unfortunately. A particularly aggressive cancer. My son is in training at the Shady Business School to learn how to run this company. He'll be interning with the followers in the boneyard next year to learn how to run people. I'm very proud of him. And my daughter is a more creative type, painter and writer. They're so busy these days, I only have Cavill to keep me company. Ask them. Of course. Civic mindedness is the bedrock of Californian democracy. What did you want to discuss? President Kimball is the personification of hub state politics, for better or for worse. Patronage, over-bureaucracy and underfunding of government departments, lack of federal aid to the states, corruption, obedience to moneyed interests, and a lack of social safety nets. I've spoken with him at length on these issues, but he believes that all these problems are temporary ones, or they're not actually problems. It is a difficult place to run a business. The city has been desperate for revenue since the '73 riots and was forced to increase taxes on its citizens. The state government prioritizes the suburbs over our urban working class. Rampant corruption on all levels of power impairs efficiency and erodes public trust in our institutions. And the most important high-paying union jobs continue to leave for, well, the West. The hub has always been a difficult place for mutants to live peacefully. In '73, it boiled over after police attacked a ghoul woman of the oldest trade. I have a distaste for the profession, but I also acknowledge it as a legitimate occupation. She didn't deserve that. I remember seeing the smoking downtown from my office in the Water District, and I saw the poor of the hub shoot at officers in the Heights District. So many people just left after that. The hub has never recovered. Labor unions, the spokesman of the workers, a vital component of any democracy. Kimball has been uniformly hostile to them and has broken up dozens of smaller unions and a couple of the larger ones. In the hub, the only major union left is the Desert House Railroad Workers Union, a sharp decline and sad to see. If you wish. It is a large and growing community, centered on tourism to the Strip, military movement to the west, agriculture, and the overpass construction project. Well, there is a significant level of corruption. The Ultrajet epidemic has hit Baker unusually hard. The local police department has been apathetic or incompetent in the face of it. In addition, should the NCR expedition to the Mojave reverse, this town will enter a steep decline. Based on my information, that's closer than you might think. Something major. I've been forming connections with the powers that be for decades, and I clearly interrupted something when I got Colonel Royas transferred here. Secret meetings at hub ranches, an emergency meeting in Shady, troop transfers at Murrock and Fort Irwin. A lot of powerful people are going out of their way to not talk about it. If I had to guess, the hub is making a move against Stanton. That said, now that I've called Colonel Royas here, the trade war between them is unlikely to escalate any further. That is correct. I had to burn quite a few favors to get him transferred here from his wonderful campaign protecting lakefront property in the Sierra Nevada. There were caravan attacks not too long ago, and I thought his forces would be more useful protecting our largest supply line of the Mojave than some vacation and CEOs. Sure, if that's what you want. It's important to the future of the NCR. Securing control of the Mojave will enable greater control of the Long 15 and enable further NCR expansion through Nevada and to Utah. The dream of a stable, peaceful civilization is in sight. And of course, locally, the annexation of New Vegas as the first true new state of the NCR since its founding will help with our economy. Its populace still uses the bottle cap, and that's something that will make the transition from the dollar to the cap much easier. More important than most people understand, it's not all military prowess. People need to feel like their currency is worth something to feel secure. They need to feel that the fundamentals of society function. If they don't, well, then society is doomed. They are a serious threat to civilization and represents a backward step to the time of anarchy and violence. I assume most people in Arizona, New Mexico, and Colorado are by and large good people, so it's up to us to free them from Legion totalitarianism. Why wouldn't they? The NCR is the best hope for the wasteland. After nearly a decade of contact with them, surely they have realized that by now. Sure, if that's what you want. Ask them. Put simply, we are the lifeblood of every community in New California. The previous administration botched the handling of the NCR's great reservoirs of water, so we were given exclusive control over every drop of water in New California. The hub has been the source of water to California for nearly 2 centuries. It's only right that it falls to us. It is. Water is so precious and rare that it simply cannot be entrusted to other special interests, not the private sector nor the public sector. Use for all of this must be centrally planned, lest short-term decision-making deprive us of all our water, and then, well, where would we be? Then you came to the right place. I'm sure you've noticed the giant overpass overlooking Baker and Fort Westin. If you were feeling adventurous, you may have even tried to cross it. Well, it has been under construction for a staggering 7 years, with almost no substantial progress of note. That thing is a major eyesore, not to mention a safety hazard to the area. I'd like you to head to the overpass construction site and ask around. Figure out why they're dragging their feet and who's to blame. Yes, goodbye.
Mr. Hightower is a good man. He could have brought in employees from the hub, but instead he hired us locals.
I'm quite busy. Did you need something? I am Hezekiah, personal chef to Mr. Hightower, though calling these backwater supplies of flesh and starch cuisine is frankly offensive. I trained in Dayglow, where food was an art form, not a war crime. Mr. Hightower is an excellent employer, although I'm not sure if I'll ever forgive him for sending me to a backwater hole such as this. I jest, of course. Mr. Hightower appreciates good food, but he insists on these pointless acts of charity. I am forced to prepare my creations, painstaking, delicate masterpieces, for people who would smother foie gras in gyro sauce. It's tragic, really. It offends me deeply that Mr. Hightower, a man with my cooking at his disposal, chooses to pollute his palate at that, what do they call it? The Ninth Island Bar and Grill? A cultural abomination. Hightower insists we package leftovers. Perfectly prepared sous vide bighorner cheeks, hand-torch gecko carpaccio, and hand them off to Baker's culinary cave dwellers. Do you know what they asked me last week? If I had ketchup. Ketchup on a plate of truffled Brahmin liver. I should be better compensated for enduring this. Because refined talent is wasted on the poor. If you want to poach gecko fillets in citrus butter and finish them with a sage foam, you need a patron wealthy enough to appreciate the effort, or at least pay for it. Hub ghouls would rather eat canned beans with their hands. No thank you. When Mr. Hightower allows me creative freedom, I deliver elevated cuisine. Imported Brahmin marrow, hand-harvested cactus blossoms, delicate bighorn consommé. But the moment his populist guilt sets in, he insists I prepare something simple for the common man. I nearly resigned when he asked me for meatloaf. I would open a tasting salon in Shady Sands. 12-course menus, every dish a story, each flavor profile a challenge to the senses. I do not serve meals like some common caravan cook. I curate experiences, and you, my dear, have the palate of a rad roach. Yes, of course. There is some steak left over on Caval's plate for you. If you want food, the Euro restaurant down the road might serve some wasteland stew. It's quite a simple dish, so you'll feel right at home. Yes, very good. Leave me to my suffering.
That's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, shot down in May. What? Bub? Is that you, Bub? Bub, you know, my deputy, he's over in the fucking, tell him to come get me. More like the town drunk, right? The badge says sheriff, don't it? Looks like the law finally caught up with me, huh? You here to throw the book at me, deputy? Go on then. Maybe that mayor in the town hall will give you a medal. One less roadblock for him to have his way with the place. Fine. I'll go see Bub. Just give me a little bit to sober up. I'll be over there soon.
Spare some change, mister? Name's Donnie. I'm from Dayglow, but I lost my life savings on the strip. I only had enough to make it to Baker. And my family's pissed at me. They won't come pick me up until I've got my act together. Oh, really? How much? Thanks a lot. Honestly, I spend most of the day outside. I try to do some jobs here and there. It's hard, you know. I used to go to the community center, but I'm not welcome there anymore. Back in Freeside, I got addicted to this drug. Ultrajet. Nasty thing. I kicked it a while ago, but I relapsed about four months ago, I think. I think I've kicked it again, but the owner doesn't trust me. I can't say I blame him. Oh, really? That would be great. The guy you need to talk to is named Melvin. He works in the main office in the community center. Oh, and while you're at it, do you think you could talk to Knox? He's the big guy at the front door. He makes life hell when I stay there. Maybe you could ask him to be a little nicer to me? It's alright if not, but I figured it was worth a shot. Goodbye.
I don't give a damn what the DSPV says. I'm not walking into Fort Westin and letting some rotten corpse put their hands on me. You think I trust a ghoul to poke around inside me? I need someone human. like you to fix this mess. Now, hurry up and get to work. My coverage is just as good as anyone's.
Oh, Miss Hoffman, I've explained this. We can't treat you here without DSPV authorization, and we are backlogged weeks before we could even see you anyways. Dr. Baker is highly qualified, and honestly, is better than you deserve.
Qualified? To do what, scare children? I didn't spend years fighting for the Republic so some rotten corpse could tell me what's wrong with me. Who knows? What if it's contagious and he turns me into a freak too?
If you want our help, take it up with your insurance. I can't divert staff and supplies to you while we're already overwhelmed. I can't force you, and I understand.
You people make me sick. What the hell do you want? They don't want to help me, even though I'm entitled to medical care. They should be thanking me for keeping them safe. But instead, they're calling me a bigot and treating me like I'm the monster. Baja War Syndrome. It's just what you get for surviving out there. Toxins, radiation, bad food, bad water, you name it. No one knows what really causes it, but I'd bet my house it's those damn ghouls. Congress doesn't want to tell Kimball because those zombies vote for him. But I know the truth. I don't just think it, I know it. My CO trusted a ghoul translator in Baja against my warnings. Fucker turned feral when we were on an expedition. Killed 2 troopers. Spurted out radioactive goop all over our rations when he died, too. Didn't have shit else to eat, so we made do. Now I'm paying for it. You ever seen a feral tear through a squad? Watched a friend get ripped apart because one of those freaks lost control? Ghouls are dangerous. All of them. You don't trust a rabid dog just because it hasn't bit you yet. You think I want to be here? Begging for help from people who'd rather watch me die? I've seen too much to trust ghouls, and I won't change. Call me stubborn, but I call it survival. If you want to help, you could convince that pencil-pushing wet noodle of a man at the DSPV to cover my treatment here at the clinic. I'm not going to Fort Westin, so don't even ask. You think I've got all day or something?
Can I help you? This is the Baker Clinic. We're overworked and often unpaid here. Our doctors are doing the best they can, but there are a lot of refugees and desperate people fleeing the war. We care for the weak and desperate, even when nobody else will. Miss Hoffman is suffering from a chronic illness common to Baja veterans. Her insurance through the DSPV covers treatment at Fort Westin, but she refuses to go because the head doctor there is a ghoul. She is demanding we treat her instead, despite her ignorant comments, and the fact that our resources are already stretched thin. We will not be treating bigots, especially not bigots who already have health coverage. The Department of Service Personnel and Veterans. Miss Hoffman is a disabled veteran and is entitled to care as long as the DSPV will cover it. In this case, it will not. Not here, anyways. She will need to head to Fort Westin to begin her treatment. We're busy enough as it is with patients who have no other options, and who would kill to swap places with her and have medical coverage. I'm not sure if that'd be enough. But if you want to traipse all the way out there, then I won't stop you. That's a fair point. However, it doesn't change the fact that we don't have enough beds for her at the moment. If you can somehow clear a few of them, we will provide her medical care. Maybe talk to Dr. Archer. She might have a few patients you can help with. Good luck with that.
When people have nothing left, they can always turn to the followers.
Welcome to the Baker Clinic. Not much of a place, but it's all we've got. I'm Liz Archer, coordinator of the Followers mission here. We've got medical supplies, though not as many as I'd like. If you need something, I might be able to help, depending on what you're looking for. I'm from Shady Sands, originally. It's all suits and bureaucrats these days, and I didn't want to fill out patents and not pass legislation. I wanted to make a real difference in the field instead of being some pen pusher. Stumbled upon the Followers not long after. Figured I'd stick with them. Someone has to try and make a difference out here too, right? The Followers of the Apocalypse believe in one thing. The world needs knowledge to heal. Everyone deserves the ability to learn about the world. It's difficult back west these days, even if we have gotten some of our own elected in the Boneyard. And out east, I hear that they're just anarchists. The Followers have been sending people across the wasteland for years. A couple decades ago, the old church across the town attracted some moneticists, religious people, looking for isolation and peace. We made contact with them and asked if they would be willing to help us set up a station here. They agreed, and so here we are. Yes? That it is. Honestly, we're lucky that Hightower has been giving us annual donations. I thought he was going to burn the place down when his wife died here, but he just asked us how much money it would take for this to never happen to anyone ever again. We told him that money can't fix everything, but he just told us that it wouldn't hurt, right? Leland Hightower, CEO of the Water Merchants. If there's a good company out there, it might be them. He lives in that big house across the 15. It is not possible to miss it. Loss of grant money from both federal and state, rapid population growth, the ultra-jet epidemic, pretty much anything you can think of. We're the only clinic in town, so we deal with all of it. Actually, yes. Come with me. Take a look through the door. These are our most difficult patients right now. We found them just south of Death Valley after a freak storm from the Divide. The Followers had heard rumors of survivors of whatever happened in the Divide all those years ago, but we've never had proof until now. A subtype of ghouls, maybe? The flesh, it's been stripped off. They should be dead given the pain tolerance threshold. When they're not exposed to radiation, they start flatlining. It's a long-term project to try and find a cure for their condition. I need assistance. Back west, we opened records indicating that MedTech was involved in the production of much more powerful curatives and palliatives. The first thing we need to do is collect a sample of ultra-stim packs. I'm hoping this will circumvent their need for radiation to heal. Our records indicate that a sample was on its way to Vegas before the bombs fell, but the truck never arrived. Your job would be to find them and bring them back. Don't worry, I've been authorized to dispense a small reward of 200 caps. Are you interested? Great. This is the route we acquired from the MedTech database. The truck is somewhere along here.
What do you want? Knocks, as in I'll knock your teeth out if you try anything. Get it? Community center, dumbass. Are you new here or something? Place is a dump. Better now that me and Budgie are here. A lot of bums looking for handouts, and soon to be a lot of broken hands if they come anywhere near me. My big brother. He don't talk much, but we're real close. He gets me out of trouble. Melvin hired us to keep the place safe. The only danger I see are bombs stinking up the place, but I'm the only one with the guts to do anything about them. I don't like looking at your ugly mug, but here we are. You're lucky I'm on the clock. Donnie, you mean that shit stain that sleeps in the alley? Yeah, no thanks. We got enough of a rat problem already. Let him know I've been helping myself to his chem stash, though. He has some good shit. Did you not just hear me? Donnie will never get back in. You tell Donnie if he comes anywhere near this place again, I'll drag him to the underpass and toss him off a bridge. Yeah, you probably should.
Hey, welcome to the Baker Community Center. Are you finding everything to your liking? This is the Baker Community Center. We provide housing and care for Baker residents in need. This center was previously funded by the town's treasury, but it fell into a state of disrepair as of late. I recently purchased the center and made some renovations as well as hiring some assistants and guards. The beds used to be free for residents, but with no government support, I've had to start charging a small fee for them. Well, without getting myself in too much trouble, I'll say that our town hall has undergone a shift of sorts. It seems we have a new mayor, one who is not solely invested in the well-being of our fine citizens. These guards are a deterrent to keep those mercenaries from getting curious and bringing that mess over here. We've completed a number of changes. We converted cubicles to beds for struggling Baker residents. I had new coffee brewers added, and we can provide very basic medical care now, to name a few. Why, thank you. I want to give back to the town that saved me. Certainly. There's not much to tell, really. I grew up in a nicer part of the hub, in the suburbs. Both my parents were in the military, so I was raised by my community and NCR dual military family programs. I've worked for nonprofits and even dabbled in the followers for a little while, but I wanted to own something for myself. I'm not sure what attracted me to Baker, but I felt like I could make more of an impact in a small town where I could learn everyone's names. Baker is a wonderful community, but a community with growing pains, to say the least. We are dealing with a large-scale drug problem, made worse by a gang of criminals who have recently been pushed out of the hub. We do our best to help, but social services are stretched with all the refugees escaping the Mojave, and that's assuming we still have an operational town hall. Well, donations are always appreciated, but please, don't feel obligated. There's a substantial homeless population here in Baker. Direct action is the best way to help those people. Thank you for your generous donation. Donnie, I feel for him. I really do. We have a strict no-drug policy in the community center, though. We don't generally do multiple strikes. If you mess up, you're out. It's harsh, but there's a long line of people who need a bed here. We can't help everyone. The best way to get Donnie in is to have him prove he can hold employment. Otherwise, it'll need to be a substantial fee. If he can pay a yearly rate for a bed rental up front, we'll let him stay. That's probably not an ideal choice, though. 3,000 caps. Like I said, not the ideal choice. I don't think many people could. We charge by the day for beds. We aren't really designed for long-term stays. The main employers in the area are Mr. Hightower, the water merchant from the hub, or Mr. Stanton at his villa to the south. I believe Stanton provides lodging for his employees as well. You should start with his farm overseer, Stubbs. Hightower is the richest man in the area, maybe the whole NCR. He recently had a new house built across the highway. He has connections in every major NCR city and never spends too long in one place. I haven't seen enough of him to know his intentions, but he claims to want to help the town. Let's hope that is truly the case. Stanton is a complicated man. He provides a lot of food to the NCR, and his farm sustains the town. Unfortunately, this makes him invaluable to the NCR. They cater to his every whim, including protection if he asks for it. He employs many people in his villa and ranches, although I don't often see them come visit Baker, despite being a few miles down the road. It worries me about the conditions those people might be working in. Sounds like a plan.
Hey, this is a restricted area. Keep back or I'll shoot. What? Budgie, I'm not really paid to talk. I stand here and look scary. Head down the street. You'll see why. Yeah, waste of time. Knox is my brother. He's an asshole, but he'll listen to me. Don't worry about Knox. Donnie just needs a job. We'll let him in then. Yep.
Hey, what's up? My name's Delvin Baxter, but I usually go by Snow. Dead. Brotherhood got him when I was young. Government couldn't find a family willing to adopt me in Maxon, so ever since then, I've been bouncing around different schools and stuff. I mean, it is what it is. Pretty good. I kinda like, math, numbers and stuff. Teach said I'm good enough to do the advanced stuff, so I'm learning derivatives right now. Yeah, we just finished limits. History. Well, I mean, I don't hate it, but I'm not really good at it. All those dates and stuff are pretty hard for me. We're learning about the Tandy presidency right now. I don't really know why I have to learn this crap all over again. I already learned about it last year in the Angel's Boneyard. Nah, we went over most of the stuff back in the Boneyard. Actually, I'm not even sure if the history textbooks are right here. The Enclave War section doesn't mention the NUAW and the She's movement at all. But they were pretty important to making sure Frisco territory was safe from the Enclave. And I had to learn about the mutant civil rights movement for a full month back in the Boneyard, but there's not really much on the civil rights stuff here. That's the only part of history I like learning about, too. Yeah, kinda. I get along with everybody. I don't really have a bestie or anything, though. Okay. A bunch. I went to, Maxon Elementary when I was a kid, but I got shuffled to Jordan Fontaine Elementary after my parents died. Finished elementary in Roslo Public in NCR City. That was a pretty good one. After that, I went to Indara Middle School for a while. That was a fancy place, all Dharmist and private. I wanted to stay, but my new sponsors got killed in a wagon accident on Route 99, so I got shuffled again. Went to Senega Heights Middle School out in the Boneyard. That place was kind of rough. I graduated, and then got moved here due to some government lottery system I don't really understand. I'm hoping to finish out pre-college here in Baker because it's a little quieter, but I don't know if I'll be able to. So, yeah, a lot. Just kind of walk around the streets, you know? It's not nearly as busy as the Boneyard or NCR City. The school's right next to one of the rough places, but honestly, the homeless people aren't that scary. Oh, and sometimes I work as a lookout. If you don't know already, then I'm not telling you. I guess, but I don't know much. I don't really have time for that stuff. I don't know. I hear in the wasteland kids like me have to eat rats and babies to survive. I guess I'm glad I'm not doing that. Who? Oh. Yeah, I don't know. War's bad. I hate them. I've never seen one, but I don't know how anyone could kill my parents for no reason. I just don't get it. And I'm reading about stuff they did to help the NCR when we were starting out, and I'm just wondering what happened. I don't know much about them. I think they're supposed to be Romans and stuff. Or tribals, maybe? I don't know. We haven't gotten to that part in class. Okay. Yeah, later.
Hello, friend. It's nice to meet you. I am Grugor. I live here. I retired from the army years ago. I came here with my wife. She was a trooper in the 2nd, just like me. Got married in New Reno, and came here because she wanted to visit the East. It wasn't like that. She trusted me because I cannot... It's embarrassing. Sorry, I don't want to talk about it. She said I was nicer than most of the troops, and told me I looked lonely. Yes, but I do not want to talk about it. She died. Old age, 2 years ago. Let's talk about that. NCR and proud. Heavy gunner with 2nd Division. A hog against the Brotherhood. Some. I knew 18 others in my division. The Rangers had some more, though, but I never met them. It was hard fighting. Power armor doesn't break easily, and the bunkers were death traps. A lot of my friends died, and it makes me sad that it's still going. War is a terrible thing. It's a good place to live. Many opportunities for mutants compared to the wasteland. And it's been getting better all the time. I will be voting to re-elect Kimball. He's been doing good things for mutant rights. Let's talk about that. I was looking for a friend of mine. He was kidnapped and taken to a mine called Mariposa. He died from the same green stuff that turned me into a super mutant. After that, it's hazy. I was a slave for a while to someone, but they left after a rebellion. Wandered the wastes after that. It was 40 years ago. I have long gotten over it, but thank you. Yes, 2 semesters of education at Reading Community College and Vocational School. You speak well for a human, too. This isn't as bad as the hub, but things are fine, I think. Getting better all the time, and I'm optimistic for the future. Still, I'm not happy right now. My pension's getting held up because of politicians back west. That would be nice. I'm not sure what the holdup is. I've tried the DSPV like they told me to, but the office made me wait for hours and hours. Finally, a man there told me I needed to come back tomorrow. So I did, and the same thing happened again. 6 times I tried, and 6 times I went home empty-handed. I wish my wife was still here. She would know what to do. The Department of Service, Personnel and Veterans Office. They are supposed to be helping us. I do have an idea. Senator Morales wants to strip all mutants of military pensions, and I'm sure his proposed bill has something to do with it. Thank you. You have a good heart, human. You will need to speak to Brad at the DSPV. Good luck. He can be a very mean man. Goodbye, friend.
You're back, and I'm, well, not proud of how you found me earlier. I guess I owe you thanks, or an apology. Take your pick. You really need an explanation? I had a rough day, hell, rough year, and needed to take a bit of the edge off. Looks like I ended up taking a bit more than that. I'm Nolan Crow, the sheriff of this fine mess of a town. I keep the peace, or I try to, anyways. Well, I shoot the ones that disturb it. The rest get the message. Ain't no perfect science to it. I never shot nobody that I didn't have to. Baker, it's a corpse that don't know it's dead yet. Crime's high, funding's low, and the barons are lining their pockets while the rest of us scrape by. This badge used to mean something here. Now it's just a shiny reminder that I'm babysitting a town no one else wants to deal with. I guess you ain't much of a rush, are you? You better not be from the hub, son. The hub's something of a shithole. Ain't a secret to anyone here. Seems to me the shit has started leaking its way down the 15, looking to get flushed into the Colorado. Baker used to be a frontier town. Seems the frontier keeps heading further east. All those big city problems have made their way to us, but we don't have the manpower to do anything about it. Organized crime, barons not having control over their own goddamn men, you name it, it's all here. Between me and my deputies, we've got about 5 warm bodies to keep it all under control. Well, what isn't going on? To start, we've got more war refugees coming through here than beds to house them. The Castle Crime Syndicate is operating in broad daylight, and a new drug is carving through the homeless. To top it all off, our worthless mayor ended up getting himself disappeared, probably by some group of military-level mercs he was in bed with. One of these problems would be too much for us to handle, and we've got 4, and those are just the big ones. I am doing something about it. I'm drinking myself to death and hoping Bub fixes it. Look, we're undermanned, underfunded for the big city problems we're up against. If you want to go get yourself killed, be my guest. Just do me a favor and do it in the summer. Ground's too hard to dig you a grave when it's cold. Well, that's the first damn thing I tried. Walked my sorry ass into Fort Westin and got turned around, telling me they've got bigger things to worry about. Told me to come back if things escalated further. What the hell more escalation could you ask for than half the town disappearing? Government doesn't care about this place. It's just a pit stop on the way to Vegas. As long as we aren't shooting troopers on the I-15 or cutting into profits, they're happy to let us sit here and squabble amongst ourselves. Sure, isn't like I have the resources to do anything else. Yup.
I'm on duty, so make it quick. Yes, I'm aware. A lot of things bother me, but he's been like this since before I even came to Baker. I've accepted that this isn't going to change, and I just have to do my job as best I can. Okay then. Many times. The simple fact is I can't get the state to send me a functional cop car. How am I going to convince them to let me remove a democratically elected sheriff? The only way Crow's going to leave is he agrees to leave. Okay then. Deputy Bub McDaniels, Baker Sheriff's Office. I serve at the pleasure of Sheriff Nolan Crow. Presently, my duty consists of requisitions, interdepartmental communications, and building the legal framework for cases. The Hub. I was a police officer in the HMPD for 14 years before I took on a posting here. The Hub Police Department has systematic corruption and refuses to abide by the laws they are supposed to serve. I successfully built a case with the Hub State Police and the federal government to prosecute 19 corrupt police officers. I was fired for impairing police unity, but I've always been a good cop, so I moved to the frontier. I'm trying to make sure that Baker's police department will be built right. Absolutely. What's the nature of the complaint? Identity theft is a serious problem for caravaneers due to the sheer amount of paperwork that has to be filed. Out of curiosity, the way you said it, you're not Elias Turner? Is there a particular reason you're filing and not him? Oh, that's going to be a problem. If he can't present himself here, then the matter is technically out of our jurisdiction. That said, while we were talking, I did recall that an arrest of a different Elias Turner occurred on the road to Hub City. We'll have to wait for the Hub Stadies to finish their investigation before I can move on this and request forms. I can help, but it will take at least a month before I can get what I need to properly file the case and get a motion to let your friend through. My recommendation would be to secure a military pass from the colonel at Fort Westin. Well, you've seen the office. We have a general lack of resources and manpower. There's a growing homeless population. The funds to build houses or get them off the streets simply aren't there. No political will in Hub State either. A large criminal organization from Hub City moved in not long ago, and has been worsening the Ultrajet epidemic. And then there's the town hall. Well, it's no secret that the Hub's been on the decline for years. Most of the money these days is in the boneyard, and Kimball seems more interested in... Actually, I don't want to give you a huge speech. The short answer is there have been significant cuts to welfare and housing throughout Hub State. Combined with the jobs moving west, this has wrecked the Hub's economy. Nasty new concoction. Jet cut with pre-war sugar preservatives. Less pure, but even more potent. They only just recently developed a cure for it. They're a Hub-based criminal syndicate led by Levi Castle. He was the brother of Chevy Castle. Are you familiar? That's right. It was a pretty big story. This is that guy's organization. I can't believe they pushed that case so quick. That's why his brother's still free. I understand that they haven't been doing too well in the Hub since the projects were demolished, so they came here instead. We're understaffed, and there are other pressing reasons why we can't deal with them right now. That's complicated. Mercenaries attacked the town hall a month ago. They locked down the town hall and have prevented anyone from investigating. There was another shootout a couple days later, but none of the mercs have seemed interested in open warfare since Colonel Royaz arrived. A business deal gone bad, maybe? We haven't heard anything from the mayor's office, and I'm not sure who Morton Stone is. Something else must be going on, though. The Hub State Police, the Army, the Federales, they're all hanging back according to my friends in the Hub. They must be waiting for something. I only hope this town is ready for that something when it arrives. The current mayor of Baker. We haven't had contact with the last one since the initial shootout. I'm not sure who Morton Stone is, to be entirely honest. The only record I could find of someone with that name has been redacted. Not sure by who. This office is not equipped for a fight of that caliber, plain and simple. All we can do is try and stop the violence from spilling over into the streets. Sure. Perhaps. I could use an intermediary for this. As you've noticed, our police department is lacking in a lot of the basic necessities. We have 3 broken patrol cars and no functional ones. Our uniforms are hand-me-downs from the Hub State Police. And we have severe personnel deficits. So, as it stands, it is possible for me to secure some of those resources through my friends in the state police. But right now, they don't want to work with me because they have no faith in the leadership of this town. I need to apply pressure on Nolan. The fact is, his alcoholism is ruining his ability to be good police. Of course not. I've never been one to go outside the book on these things. Well, there's a couple ways to go about it. The first is straight talking him. Maybe you can say something persuasive that I haven't been able to find the words for. The second is by going to the press. There's a reporter. We leak the information to him and use that to get Nolan to clean himself up. The second one, we'd have to be careful. I don't want to destroy Nolan so publicly. Just want to give him the extra push he needs for him to take care of himself. While you're at it, you might want to try talking to his ex-wife, Cynthia. She runs a small shop down by the Thermometer. She might have some insight on why he turned to the bottle. Whether he chooses to step down or simply take administrative leave for treatment is up to him. I've known my fair share of alcoholics back in the HMPD. It's not easy, but he cannot do the job in the state he's in. Good. I'm sure Nolan will come to me with his decision if you straight talk him. And if you go with the reporter route, I think Nolan's being blackmailed with his condition. I've heard him on the phone with someone a couple times when he thinks I'm not watching. I don't know who, though. Anyways, let me know when you've made a breakthrough.
Wish I knew more about what's going on in the Mojave. Seems like it's important.
Hey there, stranger. You looking for a bite to eat? Well, you've come to the right place. I'm happy to sell to you, but you should know before we do business that I used to be a jackal. Do you know the jackals? We were raiders who ate people and stole all their stuff. But those days are long past. No, and you would know. You'd get the shakes real bad. And you won't get the shakes here. Sure. A bunch of us used to roll along the 15. It was a real important number to us. Brings good luck and good fortune. Most of the town you see here was Jackal Central. We had a nice thing going in Baker. There were a lot of travelers along the road to catch and eat, and some of the caravans offered to trade with us to pass through. Oh, that's a long story, but I do enjoy telling it if you want me to. One day, this guy calling himself sheriff came to town. Said his name was Nolan Crow, and that the NCR was coming. He told us that we could either face him or face an army. Our leader laughed at him and ordered his underlings to shoot at him. In 2 seconds, 8 jackals and the leader were dead on the floor. Crow ripped through Baker, killing dozens of jackals. A bunch of them fled town into the hills. I dropped my weapons and just surrendered. When the troopers showed up, they wanted to kill me. But Crow told them that I had already been sentenced. I was doing community service and house arrest. Same person. He might be, unimpressive now. But back then, you should have seen him. For the next several months, we buried the bodies. He had me scrubbing away the bloodstains, burning cazador nests, and making that old jackal meat storage a real sheriff's office. Wherever he went, I went. He showed me how to read, to write, file taxes, all the civilized stuff. About 5 years into this, I asked if he would be willing to settle down with me. He said yes, and we got married in that church over there. No kids, though. We divorced a decade ago, before you ask. His, problem got in the way. I don't know if I'll go back to him, but I do still care about him. Alcohol. I quit cold turkey because of him a long time ago. It's a damn shame that he's gone down that path. Why? Well, the world keeps changing on him. The good guys and the bad guys aren't so clear anymore. Running a police office in the NCR is a lot harder than what he was used to. Especially when they demand so much for so little. And, well, it's not my place to say. Fine. He can't have kids anymore. He told me that he had one a long time ago who died of cholera. But ever since then, nothing. We've tried, but the doctors told him that he just can't have them anymore. Stay safe out there.
Well, hey there. Are you looking for something to drink? You're looking at Shady State Distillery, or what's left of it. This is the only place you'll find the old-timey still where we cook with steel and wood and stuff. It's still operational when it wants to be. Well, I'll tell you how them old-timers tell the difference between high alcohol and regular drinking alcohol. When I shake the bottle, if it's too high alcohol, the bubbles won't stay. Whew, I throw that bad stuff out until I get to drinking alcohol. When you shake a bottle, the bubbles make a bridge all the way across the bottle. Well, I don't got no fancy hydrometers in the woods or nothing, so I gotta check it the old-fashioned way. Well, the moonshine making ain't exactly legal business, but, folks in Baker bend the rules so long as I can bring them samples from time to time, know what I mean? Back in Shady, they got some real sticklers for the rules. I was selling in a market same as this for years till a cop drank himself dead. It ain't my fault he can't hold his liquor. Cops came in and I tell them, we ain't making no moonshine, we're making hand sanitizer. Anyways, they didn't like that one bit. They smashed up all my stuff and ran me out of town. Oh, now I'm here with my last still. Got the best for you. Take a look. Well, it's like I said. It's an old-timey still, and I'm a one-man operation. Nobody else makes it the old way anymore. Yep, see you around.
Hey there, honey. Did you need somewhere to stay? I'm Sylvia Crane, but you can call me Ms. Crane. I'm the owner and operator of Sylvia's Sleepers, an exclusive motel right here in downtown Baker. Oh, no, I don't think so. You should make small talk with the other shop owners while I grab up their customers. Always some sleepy tourists coming through at this time of day. Sure thing, honey. That'll be $200 or 100 caps for the night. Oh, honey. Bless your heart. Do you know how much work it is to run this stand? It doesn't run itself, I'll tell you that much. I work many hours a day making sure everything is in pristine condition. Just for you, I'll give you a steep discount. How's 80 caps sound instead? That's great, hun. Your bed will be the first mattress in the trailer. No refunds, by the way. Bye-bye now.
You headed out into the wilds? If so, you need supplies from a wasteland survival expert like myself. Sure am. I've survived the dangerous wilds of the Boneyard. I can tell you aren't familiar with the area, but you should know by the name it's an unforgiving place. Hey, I'm just trying to make a living here. Maybe I exaggerated a little bit, but I've seen some stuff out there. Not for free, you can't. 20 caps, and I'll help you stay alive out there. You can't outrun a cazador. Your best bet is to lie on the ground. They will have trouble finding you while you're low. If a red scorpion stings you, you can drink 3 Nuka-Colas. The radiation in the drink will counteract the poison and neutralize it. If a deathclaw spots you, don't move. They only see movement. If you find any dead prospectors, don't loot them. They could get you sick. Instead, let me know the location of their bodies, and I'll lift their loot with my Wasteland-certified tools, and provide you a 20% finder's fee. If a group of raiders catch you on the road, you should wave your hands around and look large. It will intimidate them, and they'll run immediately. Usually. Never eat anything that grows out of the ground. That's worm food. I think that's all the facts I have for now. Consider yourself far more prepared to survive out in the wasteland. Come on, I'm just trying to make a living here. Fine, 400 caps. You'll probably end up spending it in my shop anyways when you need survival goods again. Stay safe out there.
Welcome to the world's largest thermometer shop. It's a 30 cap fee to enter the store, and viewing the thermometer is also 50 caps. I saw you out there staring. I'll give you a deal. 100 caps, and you can view it again on the way out. You're new around here, I can tell. You don't know who I am yet. I'll let this one slide, if you buy a thermometer. You are in Baker, New California, the home of the world's largest thermometer. Biggest one I've seen anyways. Let's move on from the small talk and get back to business, shall we? Quite a long time now. Made a lot of money, too. Take a look. You won't find these items anywhere else. This thermometer was built hundreds of years ago, almost 100 years before the Great War. It has withstood the test of time, and once it even snapped in half during a storm and had to be rebuilt. Concrete was poured around the base of the thermometer, creating the plaza that still exists to this day. The thermometer is a whopping 134 feet tall to mark the hottest temperature it had recorded at the time. That will be 25 caps, please. I've been called much worse. If you aren't gonna buy anything, you should leave. You're slowing things down for all my paying customers.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey there, welcome to Zetan Jerky, home of galaxy-famous food and out-of-this-world deals. Here, a free sample for a first-time customer. I'm happy to help once, but I can't give all my stock away for free. Bunker Bob over there has made me learn my lesson. It's certified meat from out of this world. We use the ship on top of the roof to fly out and hunt alien invaders, soak them in marinade, cook thoroughly, and then dehydrate. The end result is delicious meat that can't be found anywhere else on the planet. No, not really. You're eating Brahmin supplied solely by Staten Farms, the best of the best. I'm Luis, owner and operator of Zetan Jerky Mart, now with 3 permanent locations in New California. I've been trying to run a business to take care of my family back home. They're originally from Oregon, but we came here for better opportunities. My old man walked into California with pretty much nothing and spent every dollar he made to get me into Hub U. Yeah, as in Hub University. Not the best school in the Republic, but it did the job, and then some. 4-year degree in entrepreneurship with a mandatory 6 months learning core Republic values. They never taught me how to fill those tax forms, though. I haven't always been lucky enough to have a brick-and-mortar place like this. I'm grateful for the opportunities I've been given. I started out with a small stand right out of college and traded my way up from pea shooters to Gatling lasers at one point. I was even in talks with the Republic about a potential arms deal. Then a certain family came into the picture and pushed me out of business. My 2 security guards must have been tipped off because they were long gone before I even saw the black combat armor come around the corner. They held my family at gunpoint while their goons robbed my stand, destroying anything they couldn't carry. I was capless, and my family was traumatized. I decided to spare them for my business, at least for a while. I still send money home, but I can't risk involving them right now. I reached out to the Barons for a loan, but I was turned down. On the walk home, Baron Stanton approached me and handed me 100 NCR dollars. He told me to buy dinner for my family, and that he wanted to talk business. Not even a month later, he helped me establish this shop, and I haven't had any issues with the competition since. My weapon inventory isn't what it used to be, but the food makes most of the profit anyway. Lots of tourists in Baker. They're the most powerful energy weapons sellers in the Republic. They even used to hold their own against the NCR's army. Although those days are long gone, not much I can do as a single store owner to protect myself. Back to business then. Bunker Bob. He's an interesting guy. One of my best customers, but it's hard to say whether it's worth it to have him around, since he scares off most of the tourists. Honestly, would you mind? I'm not sure he really has anywhere to go. But he's been talking about finding some underground bunker and waiting out Armageddon in it. If you can get him out of my hair, I'll give you a daily supply of Zetan Jerky, and I'll even throw in some ammo on top of it. How does that sound? Oh, and try to avoid politics with him if you can. Bob thinks aliens are working with the Legion to cleanse the I-15 of the NCR. It's a whole thing. I suspect he's the reason the troops have stopped shopping here. If you get him to leave, do you think you could have a chat with the angry-looking trooper around the Hawaiian King too? See you around.
Saw another family heading down the 15 yesterday. Didn't look like they had a destination in mind.
What the fuck are you, and why are you talking to me? Did the Fed send you? Federals, government, the powers that be. You're one of them, pretending to play dumb, or are you asleep and you don't know? Because I know the truth. The truth about the world, about the powers that be, about the people who really run this world. No. The people who run the president. You think Kimball's making all the decisions? No. It's Kimball's bosses making all the decisions. The NCR state has a state within the state. I'm talking deep state. You have your CIO, your power brokers, your Brahmin barons, your agri barons, the followers, they're all in on it! And they're just running the NCR on behalf of their masters! Aliens, they came to Earth years ago, showing how to make the atomic weapons so that we would blow ourselves up. But we survived, and now they figured to have the NCR conquer the wasteland for them, establish a global hegemony, a new world order. Look around you. This place, it's one of their control nodes. A giant thermometer built to monitor the weather so aliens can invade easier. A damn spaceship disguised as a convenience store. It's no coincidence that people have been seeing aliens all over in the NCR. And all those wars, I mean, people actually believe that the Brotherhood of Steel still exists. They are long gone, spirited away in spaceships. The ghosts in Baja, rogue aliens defecting from their war in space. NCR's been sent to kill them. The Legion? Shit, you think the NCR didn't have a hand in that? They sent Caesar in, infiltrated the followers, wanted to make them look bad, because they're the only ones who know about their deep state plans. Then he found out, went rogue. The only reason the NCR is having this war with him is because he realized the truth, and he's leading the resistance against them. And that is why I support his goals of destroying the NCR wasteland hegemony. The propaganda gets to everyone sometimes. The hard part is de-propagandizing yourself. Why do you want to know? You're not a Fed. You don't have the skill set, don't have the face. NCR would never let you wasteland types do special operations for them. No way. The Jerky, good, tough meat. You could survive another apocalypse with enough of them. I'm stocking up. Aliens are onto me, and they're gonna hit this place soon. Blow it up! I want to survive when that happens. Trying to push old Bob out, are you? Can't say I didn't see this one coming. They want me back in the junkyard, back where I can't spread the truth. I ain't going! Old Bob needs somewhere to hide out. Help me prepare for what's to come. Until then, this is the best place I can be. I figure if aliens are gonna flatten this place, why not hang out where all their stuff is? See, Bob always stays a step ahead. Are you playing dumb with me? The impending alien superweapon that is going to level this entire region. I see that face you're making, but you just wait! You won't be laughing when aliens nuke this place! They've been planning it with Caesar for years! Well, it better be a nice one. Old Bob can't just stay anywhere, and I've got to wait out what's coming. How's about a bunker? A stage for Bob to spread the truth. We could make that work. The people have kept their eyes closed for far too long. Things are looking up for Bob, eh? I may even let you ride out the apocalypse with me. You could be my personal lackey.
Welcome to the Baker Library. It's quiet, it's cozy, and it's mine. Feel free to browse, just don't bring in any sand. I sure do. Pre-war, post-war, anything with pages and a spine. Most folks come in for coffee, but I like to think a good book still has its place in the world. I've got some old world classics if you want a taste of the past, and some post-war writing too. Slow, but I've got a couple regulars that keep me afloat. Most people are in too much of a rush to sit down and read a book, always running from one problem to the next until they realize life has passed them by and they never stopped to catch their breath. A good book can teach patience. Seems like that's in short supply these days. Anyways, what were you asking me again? Oh, yeah. Business is slow. Most of these books were either scavenged from old homes or traded with travelers. Not exactly the hub library, but it beats anything east of here, that's for sure. Coffee? Yeah, I've got some. Not exactly fresh ground, but it'll do the job. Most of it is pre-war, vacuum sealed tight. Smells awful when you open the tin, but once you brew it, it tastes, well, tolerable. If you find any new books out there, post-war books, not the old stuff, bring them here. I've got plenty of books about the way things used to be. What I need are books about the way things are. I'll pay you fairly. I think it's possible to support the warrior and be against the war. That one was given to me by an older ranger who passed through here on his way to the front. I believe he went by Hanlon. I'd like to chat with him again someday. History is just a long, bloody list of people who thought they were in charge. I read that one from a newspaper article in the Hub Sun. Sure. Of course.
Oh, hello. Did you need something? I'm Miss Mavis. I'm a school teacher here in Baker. Well, I'm the only school teacher here in Baker. I teach the children all the basic subjects, and I also help Mojave war refugees learn about the Republic so they can apply for citizenship. That's correct. In fact, since we don't have enough children to justify multiple schools, I have to teach everyone from elementary to pre-college. And because of that, I switch what level of class I'm teaching every day. Between that and teaching refugees about the NCR and its history, I've stretched myself a bit thin. Poorly. You can't really teach children only 2 or 3 days a week and expect them to perform as well on the tests as the bigger schools back west. Reading, writing, mathematics, science, history. There used to be a civics one, but we've removed that requirement because none of the school districts could get children up to standards. That's not a good thing. No, they're not. And the tests aren't built for teaching children how to think. They're built for rote memorization, and that's a huge problem. I have time. I taught in the Hub's inner-city schools. That was a real mess, but I can't say I would have changed a thing. Well, it was a lot more work in some ways, and a lot less work in others. I had more students, but I also had administrative meetings. It's the opposite here, but I also have the added problem of having to teach multiple grades. And the kids in the inner city are a lot more mature. They want to show you how much like grown-ups they are. So they swear and sometimes do drugs, but they also step up to break up fights, get the other students to listen, and work a lot harder. That's not the case in Baker. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. In the beginning, it was the benefits, but after the first week, I realized that I needed to step up and be an actual example to the kids. And I saw some kids turn out okay, and other kids fail. Some I could help, some I couldn't. The important thing was to always keep reaching out, to step up and be the person they need you to be. I have time. Just to really... no, I'm not going to say anything. Well said. Alright, I have 2 problem students. The first is Seth McDougal, and the second is Delvin Baxter. Seth has been missing for weeks, and I haven't been able to contact the family at all. So, this is a wellness check. Delvin has been missing school irregularly for the past couple of days. I'm worried that he's fallen in with some bad crowds. So if you could look into it, I'd really appreciate it. Oh, and he goes by Snow. I would appreciate that. If you do find him, then I'd like for you to deliver this homework packet to him, just so he can keep up if he comes back. I'd certainly be willing to compensate you for your hard work, although it's a teacher salary, so it wouldn't be much.
Saw another family heading down the 15 yesterday. Didn't look like they had a destination in mind.
Name's Marion. Welcome to the Frontier Store. Let me know if there's anything you'd like. Food, general goods, some surplus ammo, spare parts, that sort of thing. It's a nice enough place. Better than where I used to live. Phoenix. Then the Boneyard. Well, here, of course. My selection is admittedly pretty limited, so if you need specialty gear, I would probably recommend taking a walk over to the motel across the highway. It is way more expensive, though. I work with Gold Star Distribution to keep my prices down, but they aren't a huge operation, so I just sell whatever they're able to ship me. I got the basics if you like to cook, but I understand if you're in a hurry. The Jerky Mart's pretty good for on the go, too. Then, the bar over there sells some food, too, and alcohol, if you like that sort of thing. Oh, that place. Mad Roman is okay. The owner's an asshole, though. Actually, no. Fuck that guy. No! That motherfucker rebranded to make a quick buck off the war with the Legion. €1 sold, 1 Legion soldier shot. Support our troops. Give me a fucking break. He just pockets that money. It's goddamn unacceptable. Okay. Yep. Horrible place. I cannot not recommend it enough. And the Legion? I hate them. The NCR should stop playing around and make them feel what it's like to be crucified. Dad wanted me to keep the toy store. And I did, for a while, after he passed. But I didn't stay for long. Thank God. I swear, no one around here cares about what the Legion's been doing. I've been there. I know. A caravaneer walked up and started talking about safe roads, and I about damn near picked up that shotgun and blew his head off. The Legion's shit if you want to settle down. They extorted my dad, then me. And the slaves just fuck them. Fuck them to hell. I'm sorry. Lost my temper. Well, yes, that should be obvious. I honestly can't wait for the NCR to kick the shit out of them at the dam. Kind of. Not really. It's difficult to explain to someone who's never been there. But that doesn't really matter, does it? You don't have to be a slave to hate the Legion. Okay. It's a shithole. I already told you this. Okay. Well, it's a city. Pretty big one, too. Thousands and thousands of people. It had its problems. Crime, corruption, a couple bad neighborhoods. Like, I would still stay out of the Mart at night, even if it has been cleaned up. But even that wasn't so bad. The right to vote is just amazing, really. There was a councilman who was calling for the execution of prisoners. Didn't like that. Reminded me of the Legion. So I voted against him. Other people felt the same way. Come election time, the councilman was gone. Mind you, his replacement... Oh, sorry about that. You don't want to talk about politics. Oh, absolutely. Someone did break into my shop, because I'd never had to lock doors before, but other than that, you pay your taxes every year, you know what they're going to be, and there's lots of customers. That type of stability is something hard to come by in the wasteland. I definitely didn't get it in the Legion. Well, it was great having lots of people pass through when I was younger, but I'm old, and I'm craving peace and quiet. I'd be lying if I said it was easy to start up again, though. Startup taxes and the cost of labor are so much higher out west than back in the Legion. But that is just the price of freedom. My friends at Gold Star Distribution are trying to leave the boneyard, and I'm hoping they'll move closer. Be good for business. Oh, he's a fuckhead. Forget about it. I just get so passionate about this. Okay. Come again soon.
Hey there, welcome to the Mad Roman. What can I get you? You ever have our big Horner gyro before? The meat's a little tough, but it's at least worth trying once. Our Caesar salad can't be found anywhere else. Well, at least not west of the Colorado. Might be a dangerous trip to ask for one in Arizona. Take a look.
Good afternoon.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to my restaurant. This is the Mad Roman, and I am Augustinos. A pleasure to meet you. I sure did. My family has been in the Euro business for 4 generations. This is my foot forward in the business. I opened a Euro stand in Irwinville and saved up just enough money to come here. Yep, Stan might have bankrolled everybody else in a baker, but I'm the one true independent. Of course, the Honorable Freak Stanton publicly eating in here in front of his cameras did not hurt either. Well, sort of. This Greek food passed down to me over the centuries. It used to be a country or empire, I think. But with the war going on out east, I remembered that the Roman and Greek tend to blend together in most people's eyes. So I figure, what's the harm in renaming the place? After all, I support the war effort against the Legion. Might as well make some money from it. I know that the Romans or something. They want to rebuild the Roman Empire and impose martial law on California. I'm not too sure what that entails, but it can't be good with how crucifix-happy they are. What I will say is that the skirts are very nice. They do have excellently toned legs. Real models of physique and masculinity. If nothing else, the Legion are fashionista visionaries. I can respect that at least. You're like me. It's good to meet another in this backward state. I must confess that I very deeply love the aesthetic of the Legion. All those young men in skirts and football pads. It's such a shame that they're slavers and murderers, because they really do look great. Oh, well, I understand that. What with him being from Phoenix and all, but I meant no offense to him. Heck, I even offered him a discount as a show of good faith. But his hatred for the Legion blinds him to this delicious food here. I'm in the middle of a rebrand. It's a very expensive thing, completely redoing the signage and uniforms and everything. And I'm having some issues with the suppliers. If you're offering, I need someone to head over to the Crimson Caravan and negotiate with them. It's hard to find time to leave the shop, so if you can run over there and talk to them, I'll make it worth your while. Wonderful. Head over to the Hawaiian King Motel. You're looking for a man named Slidell. He's a good man. He's helped me in the past. I need some red paint and a few of those painting guns.
Hold it. Baker Town Hall's under new management. State your business. Good for you. Most of us are ex-military, so don't go thinking that makes you special. Just head upstairs and talk to Lauren if you have business with the mayor. Look for the idiot at the back desk. Feel free to pop one between his eyes on the way in. Just don't touch anything else.
Why are you talking to me? Are you trying to be cute? Idiot. West. Guarding it from intruders like you. I'd get on out if I were you. Or don't. If you don't leave, then I'll have an opportunity to exercise my trigger finger. Take a hike, yeah?
Mayor's got plans. Big ones.
Oh, hey. Name's Embry. I don't know why you're here. If you're just here to explore, I would, beat it before the others lose their minds. Guarding the place. Psychos and stuff. Dayglow. Joined the army after that. It was... the army. Okay.
You got business here? I'm Kingman. I'm the guy you can talk to if you have business here. If you don't, you should leave. There was a shootout recently. We've been brought in to make sure that there isn't another one. A bunch of crazies attacked Town Hall a month ago. Nasty business. It's still under investigation. Nah, I don't think so. Redding was a hired gun for the Phoebus family. A lot of things. He's busy right now. If you do have business, talk to Lauren upstairs. If you don't, get out of here. Sure.
assume you have some manner of business here. State it. The Colonel? If you're his messenger, then I suppose you could enter.
You have been sent by Royaz, I understand. For what purpose? Ah, rest assured. The city of Baker has everything under control. Absolutely. Sure. Anything for my constituents. A while. Paperwork is very taxing, and I have lost track of time. Oh, this and that. Independent. As the single largest employer of this area, he is constantly on my mind. Good. Oh, it's a criminal matter, or a clerical one. Filed a crime with the sheriff's office, or filed a paperwork request with the DRC. Either way, you have the wrong location. Good day. Curious one, aren't you? I'll tell you all about the basement, but first, I have a simple question for you. Are you willing to work for me now that you know what I'm capable of? Yes or no answers only. No, that's not how it works. Guards, escort this man off the premises.